Let's change gear again. Look at that other guy that's in the market. My man Green. What do you think about that? Leaving Warriors. Draymond
I don't
Green.
know. I don't think Draymond Green is going to lead the Warriors because, I think Mike Dunleavy Jr., their new GM, knows that he cannot allow Draymond to leave.
No.
I think Draymond. What's not talked about enough is how intelligent a lot of these players are. Draymond is so intelligent, man. He should do a master class on how to optimize your level as a professional basketball player. He does so many things off the court. He's going to make the Warriors pay him and pay him well, which he deserves. He is still the top defending forward in the league. He makes that Golden State system go. Now that they've got Chris Paul, they need him. But with that said, if I'm Mike Brown, I'm going into the Sacramento front office and I'm holding them hostage until they get Draymond Green signed. Because I just said, who's going to be that player to come in and have a great impact on the team defensively? You just said it, Draymond Green.
And that will work for Sacramento because Draymond and Harrison Barnes played together once before and won championship. So that only, give your teams a lot more depth to even now. I can say if they get Draymond, I can say they are definitely a contender for the championship, because he brings so much to a team and the way he plays. I know everyone thinks he's going to go to LA, but Draymond right now is looking for he already won championship. So I mean, he's all of fame in my book, right? So I think
Absolutely.
right now in his career, hey man, you got to pay me, right? And a lot of
Absolutely.
people say, well, he's going to go to LA because of his relationship with LeBron James, and that they have a great relationship. But there's no way he's turning down, way over $27.6 million right now. The only thing the Lakers have in a non-taxpayer mid level is at $12.4 million. He's not going to take 12.4 million over what he had, with the Warriors at 27.6 million.
I think again I go back to Sacramento. He played with Harrison Barnes. He's very close to Mike Brown. Mike Brown was defensive coach when he was at Golden State. So he and Draymond spent a lot of hours together. Formulating game plans. I think he'd be a great influence on Sabonis. I think he'd be a great influence on Darren Fox. And I'm gonna throw another thing out there. If they can get Draymond signed, do they go after a Bruce Brown to add to that? I'm excited for Sacramento, but I'm more excited for Draymond because I love to see guys. Just a personal story. My first coaching job was in Ohio, Tiffin University in Ohio, and one of the first recruiting trips that my head coach brought me on was to go watch a tournament with Draymond Green. Playing for Saginaw High School. And he in the warm ups you're like, okay, where's the best player? And by the end of the game, he had 40. And I don't think NBA fans realize Draymond Green was so talented in high school. Then he goes to Michigan State, and all he did was win, and he was talented there. Like his talent is one thing, but his intelligence and his feel for the game and his leadership. I mean, if I'm a coach, and I'm speaking from a coach's perspective, you're the agent, you're the guy that's in the business meetings, and negotiating. But as a coach, you cannot have a guy like Draymond Green available and not try to go get that guy if you have the money, and he deserves every single penny that he's going to get in the market.
I do agree. Right now, if I'm Draymond, I'm trying to get, I'm telling my guy, I need to get paid. First of all, you don't have a long time left to play. I think you can get maybe 4 years good out of him. So right now, for those next 4 years, 4 or 5 years, I think that I'm trying to, get my dollars up and also win. But he already got four, so I think that he's still got a lot of value left in him, and he can definitely help any team to either become a contender or to compete for an NBA championship. Want to take a look at Golden State again. I'm gonna stick with the Golden State Warriors. Now they got my guy, one of the best point guard to ever play the game in CP3, and I think that he would be a good fit just because of his basketball IQ, with a fit with you know Steph Curry and Clay. What's your thoughts about that? Do you think he's a fit? Do you think that this will work? It looks good on paper, but it's still yet to be proven on the court.
Well, you're never going to have me say anything negative about Chris Paul. I'm an HBCU head coach. Chris Paul personally has donated money to our program during the COVID lockdown, and when they played in the bubble, he wore shoes that represented our university. So, on a personal level, you're never going to have me say anything negative about Chris Paul, who puts his actions where his words and puts his money where his mouth is. So, I love Chris Paul. As far as a fit, he played in Houston, and his injury may have prevented them from going to the NBA Finals and beating Golden State. in the I believe it was the conference finals. He played in LA and same thing, almost got close to winning. Played in Phoenix, played in the finals, and they were up 2-0, or they had a chance to win that round. I think he's a great fit in Golden State because what people don't understand is when you look at a great player, you look at what he does really well, but what you don't understand is great players have great IQs. He's going to, and I've always believed this as a coach, give me a whole bunch of great players, we'll figure it out. He and Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and probably Draymond Green and Steve Kerr are going to figure out a system and figure out, maybe to adjust minutes where Chris Paul can play more pick and roll, with Kevon Looney and who they have, at the 5 spot. But I think he's going to be really good for Golden State. He can catch and shoot, so that fits what they do. And I think that you're going to see a little bit more cutting than to be expected. For all the young, players out there, if you can dribble, pass, and shoot, you're a good player. But if you can play with and without the ball, you're a great player. Chris Paul will be able to play without the ball with Steph Curry. You're still going to have to load up your defense on the shooting of Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. And if Draymond Green does get re-signed, you're still going to have to guard that system. Chris Paul will be fine. I think they'll still be very good. I even think defensively, as long as they re-sign Draymond Green, they'll be good. So I love Chris Paul. I think he's going to be fine in Golden State. We wondered what his fit would be with James Harden, and they were an injury away from possibly winning a championship. So I think he'll be fine.
I do believe so. My only worry will be, is it enough without Draymond Green to win an NBA championship? I mean, when you play for a team like Golden State, your only mindset is to win. Chris Paul got to win right now. I know you came close, and you don't want to end up not winning at the end of your career. And I was right there, and the injuries and all these things. Yes, at the end of 3 years from now, 4 years from now, you can say no one cares about if he was injured. All he cares about, did he win? And love the guy. Think he's definitely All of Fame in my book. Best PG, one of the best PG. He's up there with the Magics and the John Stockton and Mark Jackson and those guys. But he still got to win. Winning cure all things. And I do believe that they do need to be convincing Draymond Green to stay. I think with Draymond, that put him at the top just because you got two guys that are basketball mind guys that, when one is not on the floor, that helps and balance out Steph Curry and Klay, and Wiggins, on the floor, So I think that team, even though they add Chris Paul, does not work without Draymond Green.
I think they know that. I can tell you right now, as a coach, Steve Kerr is letting the owners know, don't mess around. Get this done. I'm going to tell you that the key to Golden State, it's not going to be Chris Paul. Draymond Green starts and begins with Draymond, Klay and Steph. I think the key to Golden State are going to be the young pieces. I love Moody. I love Kuminga. For whatever reason, they weren't playing in the playoffs. Can they figure it out? Because they're going to need them. Somebody. And then let's not forget, they got Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins didn't play a lot of last year. He's also very, very good. I think Golden State's going to be fine. We didn't expect them to beat Boston. We didn't expect them to get to the finals to even beat Boston 2 seasons ago. The other thing that I'd like to throw out there is, would Chris Paul be a 6th man? To me, if you're talking about winning a championship, you have a 6th man like Chris Paul, and you can rest Steph Curry some nights during the season, and you can play them together, in crunch time, depending on who you play. I think that they're going to be fine as long as the young guys step up.
I think what gave him depth on that team, and I know we don't mention this guy enough, is Gary Payton Jr. I think that Gary Payton gave him such a defensive presence, a toughness at the guard position, and he just, I know that he's a humble young man, but he's one of those guys that don't get enough credit, that take the tough matchup. That's the reason why you can rest a Klay, right? Because that Gary's going to come in and he's going to give you that defensive presence. And now he's shooting the ball. I know a lot of people don't give him a lot of credit the way he's shooting the basketball. It has improved a lot, and he can get to the basket. He's a rim runner. You can, throw it ahead and he just flush it really, finish right around the basket. So I think that with keeping him would definitely give him also a lot of depth coming off the bench.
So basically, Clive, what you're saying is another college guy, another guy that knows how to play. I agree with you 100%.
So, I mean, and what I love with Golden State, man, they allow him to go out and get paid and come right back. It's kind of like, I'm a lonely my guy, but I want him back. and
Yeah.
they allowed him. That was just a great thing for them to do. They knew they didn't have the cap to keep him, so they allowed him to go out and get that 8 million and come right back.
And
So
come right back. Yeah.
I'm very happy for him, and just to see where he never stopped learning. This is a guy who dad is Hall of Famer, but he
Yeah.
never rest his hat on, well, I'm gonna ride my dad coattail. I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna work, and I'm gonna show why I should be in the NBA, and coming from the G League, coming up and make his way to be an NBA champion. So I give that guy a lot of credit.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, Clive. Another player that had a big impact on winning was Josh Hart, another college guy, came into the Knicks and catapulted the Knicks. They were 500 team when he joined the team, and they were a fifth seed and got to the second round and got within 2 games of and had home court against the Miami Heat. So I put Gary Payton Jr. and Josh Hart and Dante DiVincenzo in the same category of really tough guards, high IQ college guys used to winning. So I agree with you. I love Gary Payton Jr. and I love if Golden State figures it out, which I think they will. I think they'll be contenders again next year.
Definitely. Well, guys, a lot being said. I do believe that basketball is very exciting next season. My pick to win it all. I got to go back with the champs. Got to go back with the champs. I think that what they're doing over there, they're only going to get better. Those guys have to stick together and figure it out with Denver Nuggets. So that's my pick. But I'm very excited to see these young talent in the NBA Summer League, and definitely I'm looking forward to see what Wembanyama does. I don't believe that he will play a lot of games in this summer league. I think you may get 1 or 2 games out of him. Then I rest him for the season. We want to protect that guy actually, being that tall, and definitely can't wait to see, what the rest of the guys end up, doing this summer league. So I'm very excited, looking forward, to watch, and I'm an agent, but I'm a fan. I'm pretty sure coach feels the same way.
Absolutely, and I love the summer league. Again, personal story. A young man that I coached in high school, Kevin Murphy. When I got to Creekside High School around this time, just working him out every day, training him every day. He used to just sit down in my in my living room and just watch summer league games from start to finish. And it was such a great blessing to see that he got drafted, by Utah a few years later. But he put up some big time numbers, for those summer league teams that he played for, and he put up big time numbers in the G League as well as his college days. So, to me, I'm a fan of the dream. I'm a fan of these young guys because I've been around them. I know what it looks like. I know how hard they work, and the summer league is their NBA championship. I love the format where they put in the playoffs in the summer league. So I'm just rooting for all the college guys that have played 4 years that may have played overseas or played in the G League, and this is their chance to get on a roster. So I root for nothing but success and great health for all those guys. I'm excited to see Wembanyama, but I'm also excited to see Cam Whitmore. I think a lot of teams made a mistake. He should not have dropped that low. I can't wait to see guys like him that have a huge chip on his shoulder go in the summer league and make a name for themselves. I'm excited about always watching young talent, in the summer league because I know how hard that grind is to get there.
And there you have it, folks. Make it happen, and we'll see you next time. Have a